Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. And behind me is my dad's Rhino, and you guys have seen this before. I've done a couple of modifications to this thing. I actually love Rhinos just like everyone else, but there's one big downfall to the Rhino, and you guys probably have noticed it as well, is they're kind of slow. So we're going to try and change that today by installing an aftermarket clutch kit. If you want to see that and more, stick around. Alright, so the first thing we should do, we should go for a test drive as is, stock, get some baseline numbers, and compare that to what we have after we've installed that clutch kit. Let's go for a ride. Alright, so I'm going to hammer it when we get onto the Mexico border here. So we're on an abandoned Mexico street. Yeah, let's see what we got. So I've gone ahead and I've taken the liberty of cleaning all of this clutch kit, or clutch cover I should say. I don't want any of the debris or dirt to fall in there, but there's a whole bunch of 10mm bolts all the way around. We're going to take that out and take a look at how it looks stock. Alright, so with the cover off, check this out. That's why these machines tend to last as long as they do. Even the primary clutch has a carrier, I guess. I don't know what that is exactly, but we're going to remove that, get to the primary, and carry on. Alright guys, so we fast forwarded a little bit here, but so we got the primary clutch out, and there's a cover, much dirtier than this one. My dad did a great job cleaning it all up for us. And this is what the new machine clutch looks like. So we've already watched a video from HunterWorks, because this kit comes from them. So we have a really good idea of how we're doing all of that. Now the next thing we need to do is just reinstall this O-ring around the clutch, put the cover back on, and then we can go reinstall it. And so far it's actually looking pretty good. I mean, I can see why they stopped, or these guys don't use grease, because this is all dirt on the outside. It picks up just about everything, and it just makes it really, really yucky looking. So let's put it all back together and go for a ride, see if it changes anything. Cross our fingers. And just like that, guys, with the magic of camera, it is all back together in like 3 seconds. So I wanted to make a note on that too. I didn't make this video for how to do the clutch work. That's to be left to the person you buy it from. So I purchased this kit, or sorry, my dad purchased a kit from HunterWorks. They have a website that they have links to their videos, and that's what we followed. I am not sponsored anyway by them. We just chose them because they were the first ones to answer the phone when we needed to have some questions answered about how their kit works. So anyways, with all that said, let's go see how different it is compared to the first run we did in Mexico and go from there. So let's cross our fingers that we have a little bit more and that we're not hitting the rev limiter all the time. So let's go. All right, so here we go, guys. So this is about the same speed we were doing last time. Up to the point, and already it feels like the RPMs are a little bit lower. I don't have a tag, but it feels lower. So anyways, let's give it a crack. Okay guys, so you saw there, we got about 10 kilometers an hour more than we did with the stock setup. Not the results we were really expecting, but then after reading the instructions one more time, looks like we might have missed something. So remember that cover with the O-ring? Well, if you're using greaseless weights, according to the instructions on this kit, you're not supposed to put that cover back on. So we're gonna go back in, we're gonna remove it, go for another ride, and see what that does. It's gonna be expensive going back and forth to Mexico all the time. Alright guys, so after about 3 test runs, what we ended up with is the same result after we did the kit, which was about 71 kilometers an hour, which is, I'm assuming, I think it's about 45 miles per hour. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure what the conversion is. So that's what we ended up with. I did 2 things. So one of those things was to remove this cover, which was in the instructions. Somehow I missed that. It's actually like step number 2. And then there was also in the kit, I might have to call the company because there's this over here in the kit that I do not know where it goes. I watched a couple of videos, couldn't figure out where this particular black wedge sits. And also there's a very thin washer that goes, I think, between the 2 housings that was in the kit. The original stock setup did not have that thin washer. It's like, I'm talking like almost paper thin. So I removed that on the 3rd run, made no difference at all. Now on the positive side, we did gain 10 kilometers an hour. Mid-range, it seems to be much better. Again, I don't have a tack on the machine. I don't have an electronic tack here for 4 strokes. I have one for 2 strokes. So it sounds like it's, you know, lower in RPM. By how much, we don't know exactly, but it is better when you're just driving along at lower speeds. I'm talking like 40, 50 kilometers an hour, because even at that speed before, it was really hard to talk to each other in the same cab, and it was really like the engine didn't have much left. So if you were trying to have a little bit of fun, it was basically maxed out. Now at those speeds, if you mash the throttle, there's still a bunch left in that pedal. So that is really good. That's a very positive thing. Now on the negative side, here in Canada, I couldn't find a kit available. I tried contacting the one company I found, and I never got any response back. So this is why I went to the company that we are using now. And that comes from the States, and to us, there's a couple of fees involved. So of course we got Canadian dollar to US dollar, so we got that exchange rate we got to pay for. Then we're also paying for the shipping cost, the duty fees. So there was a couple of things that added and brought the price up. So after we were all said and done, delivered to my door, it was about 700 and some odd Canadian dollars. The kit was like $425 US. The rest of it's all shipping and all the rest of the stuff and duty fees, and it never seemed to end. So it was, in my opinion, 700, and let's say round it down to $700 for 10 kilometers an hour seems expensive. Now, you be the judge. Let me know in the comment section what you would consider a fair amount to pay when it comes to gaining speed on these machines. Some people will pay thousands of dollars to gain anything. Now, in our case, I think it's actually kind of fair. I did say I'm going to call the company, and I will. If there is any updates regarding this, I will definitely make a short video about that. But that pretty much brings us at this point to the tip of the day, which I think is going to be obvious to you guys because I talked about it. And that is, if you're using anything, or if you're installing a new kit, doing something at home with the wife, read the instructions, read them fully, understand them before you get the project started. Then you won't end up like me where you have to go back and forth in the unit and do a couple of exchanges and do a couple of repairs and modifications again. But I was getting pretty good at timing myself. The last thing I did, which was that little washer, I was in and out, back and ready to do the next run in 20 minutes. So it's really not that hard. So again, that's another plus. But I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Give me a like if you did enjoy the video. Let me know what you're driving. I currently also have a Wildcat. That's my dad's Rhino. I got a Big Bear, got a bunch of toys. What do you guys ride? And what do you consider worth spending money on when it comes to speed parts and just going faster? So we'll talk to you later. See you all in the next video. Bye. Oh, wait, before you go, there is one other big plus that I forgot to mention, is I got to film this particular video with my dad. And that was super cool. I mean, my dad's the one who taught me a lot of the mechanical stuff that I know right now. My grandfather as well. So that is a huge plus. So again, I'm going to make sure that's added to this video. I can't forget that.